You are listening to WCJV Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, New York.
It's time. It's time. It's time. For another ghostly adventure. With HRJ Paranormal Adventures. Here's your hosts, Rob Curtis and Mike Hopkins.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of HRJ Paranormal Adventures with Rob and Mike. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rob.
Tonight we're bringing onto the show our doppelganger, I guess is what you'd call it. He's from YouTube. He's a paranormal investigator, and he's got an epic beard just like Rob does.
He does, except his is really red.
Yeah. We got to shake it up a little bit. I mean, yours is starting to get kind of red, besides the gray. But let's welcome to the show Mr. Mike Speed from Mike Speed's YouTube channel. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, it's going good. How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Going good.
Oh, you already answered that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. See, what made you decide to do a YouTube channel? I mean, what really inspired you?
Honestly, I got to watching Omar Gosh and Mo Sargi.
Hey, same here.
Same here.
Well, I mean, I got to watching them. I'm like, well, and we was already doing the paranormal stuff beforehand, and I was like, well, hey, let's go ahead and do this. And I'm throwing in a little bit of abandoned exploration in with it now, so just figured why not.
Yeah, it was kind of the same here. I mean, I've been watching Omar for about a year and a half now.
I just recently, right before we started, you got me watching Omar and Mo. Mo's crazy.
Mo was crazy, yeah. But, and then, of course, after a while, I got to see Mo on Omar's channel, and that kind of got me on his thing there.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell the audience a little bit about a small YouTube army?
We're pretty much a community that's trying to just kind of unite to help each other to expand their channels, their subscriptions, and just the support that they're receiving altogether.
Go ahead.
We just pretty much just back each other up and try to help each other as much as we possibly can.
And that's a great thing to do for.
Yeah, you've already helped us by 20 subscribers, you said?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we're getting on up there. I think we're at 101 last time I checked.
Oh yeah, and we just recently had what was that psychic's name?
You never told me the name, I don't think. Did you?
It's something.
You
Roller.
said it was a famous
Kathy Roller.
Yeah,
yes.
famous psychic.
Yes, Kathy Roller just like 2 days ago actually started following us on Twitter.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I need to get Twitter. I don't have Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't understand Twitter.
Which, of course, is cool. Like the first time I ever saw her was on the show Tanked, where they put in those custom tanks.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
You say that, wait, you didn't say that she helps law enforcement, did you?
I don't think so.
So we could make a movie about it.
All right, so let's see. Your latest video, which I haven't gotten to see yet because I've been at work. What's it about?
My latest video, shoot, I don't even remember which one I uploaded last, but my latest one, I haven't got to upload it yet, but I went and filmed an abandoned house actually last night. It's in the process of being editing. Pretty much I'll give you the backstory of this property.
We love backstories.
Yes, backstories are good.
My uncle got me actually doing the paranormal as part of the YouTube thing. He had a group together, and I got a part of it. We went up to this place, and pretty much it turns out to be a property that a witch used to live on.
Oh, we love those.
Yeah.
So, and they also have the Beast of Coal Mountain, which is Coal Mountain is where we went last night. Nobody really knows what it is, but it hangs around there. It chases you off the mountain if you get to a certain part of the property.
What a 45 help.
I don't think
I'm thinking about trying to get a tank and take it over. I mean, I'm not sure what it is.
Hey, if you get a tank, I want to ride in it.
Oh,
Well,
man,
let's go.
That would be you'd be famous for sure because you'd probably be on every news channel in the country and probably end up on America's Most Wanted.
Probably. But I would be smiling hanging out of the tank. Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually went up to this property last.
That's not a case of overcompensation, is it?
No.
Okay.
We went to this property last night, and I've got a couple of pictures and everything I'm going to add into the video, but I mean, we had a good time filming it and everything.
I absolutely love filming abandoned properties. It's nothing like wondering what's around the corner.
They actually have a property I'm going to go visit here up in West Virginia. It's in Princeton. It is the abandoned amusement park. I think it was like the Lake Shawnee amusement park. I'm going to go and film that here pretty soon.
I think I've been through Lake Shawnee.
Well, actually, and I'm pretty sure you actually just watched our amusement park video not too long ago, Mike.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, which we have to go back there because we only got to explore like a quarter of it.
Yeah, that place is just absolutely large, and we got to do better audio next time. My audio just crapped out on us when we went. I'm having to use the camera audio.
Yeah,
which I mean, it's a great camera and all, but the audio is really lacking. And the little digital record. Do not ever use cheap digital recorders for your video, because you'll get all sorts of pops and clicks that Audacity can't even seem to take out. If it can, I don't know how to do it. We're actually we're going to be using my iPhone for the audio because it does really great, and I just got a little microphone for it. When we started out, that's actually what we were using was my iPhone 5 to shoot everything. I mean, it worked great. Just the battery life was not good.
Especially if we run into something that was actually paranormal and just drain.
Yeah, and you can't just, I mean, if you had an Android, you could at least have an extra battery for it. But an iPhone, you can't do anything with it.
No. You didn't have to just wait for it to charge.
Yeah, you have to, and it takes forever. So, yeah, we had to do some upgrades on that. What kind of video source, if you feel comfortable revealing, I mean, what kind of equipment are you working with as far as for your videos and your investigations as well?
I actually use my cell phone for a lot of it, but then I have a Sony camera that I use when I go and do the exploration videos. I'll take it, but like the regular spirit box videos I use my cell phone.
Yeah, I've got. I mean, is it an Android or an iPhone?
I've got an Android.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You must have one of those higher end Androids, because the Androids always had the cameras were not really good.
No, but the audio is great.
Yeah, the audio is great, but the camera not so good. The iPhone, great for videos and audio. It just lacks in everything else.
Yeah.
But what kind of equipment do you use? Are you pretty well low tech, or do you have some high tech gear that you break out to try to contact the supernatural?
Right now, I'm low tech. I've got flashlight. I just use a flashlight test, digital voice recorder, and a spirit box. I've got a couple of pieces of equipment I'm ordering. I'm going to be breaking out within the next couple months. So,
is one of
hoping they'll.
We just recently got a K2.
K2s are awesome.
They are.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm on a K2.
Which reminds me, when I was in the hotel a couple of days ago, when I had to go stay up in Pocahontas for work, Jared was like, there's got to be a button on there. There's got to be fake. I'm like, dude, there is no button on a K2 except to turn it on or turn it off.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing. I mean, I don't even know how to change the battery. I mean, there's literally just a button to turn it on and turn it off. Yeah. There's really nothing fake about it that I can tell. The only thing is ours said that it's designed not to pick up man-made EMF.
Yeah.
And that obviously isn't true because it does pick up man-made EMF, but whenever you're in an abandoned property or even like that place we did with Jessica up there in her house in Fayetteville, when we first started, nothing registering on the K2.
Not a thing.
Nothing. But as things started to progress, I mean, that thing just was staying lit.
Especially when you could tell the spirit to either get next to it or fall away from it. And when you tell it to fall away from the spirit box,
it responded.
It responded, and it left it. It stopped lighting up.
I mean, when we got our K2, it changed the game for us. Really, it did because it went from is there anything here to holy crap.
It was like, hey Mike, I think there's something right beside you, and he's like, what? Now you can take the K2 meter and be like,
don't ever tell your cameraman there's someone or something next to you, because then you're going to lose your video.
Dude, I am so happy that you did not see in the woods what we seen in the video in the woods.
Yeah.
Which is our second time.
I'm sure you would have been left there alone, because even my wife probably would have been like, no, let's go.
Yeah. Dude, did you see how far apart those glowing eyes were?
Yeah, it would have been pretty.
Do you know how big that thing would have had to be? Bigger than a grizzly bear.
I don't know how many yards that would have been. We were pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Surprised I didn't actually see it. Of course, I'm looking at that little screen.
Yeah.
I don't have the luxury to look around, and I have to see everything through screen. So.
That, and you had a giant light in my face, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, I don't know if you could call me an investigator or not, but I'm more of just the guy who gets to stay behind the camera and record everything, edit everything. I'm the tech guy, which is fun. But one of these days, I'm gonna give Rob the camera, make him do what I do.
Okay.
It's gonna be funny. And I'm gonna be over there on my phone doing a live video.
Actually, I hope some people actually got to see the live stream from last night. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny watching you on live stream.
Yeah. I mean, I even did the car commercial that a couple of years ago was huge in Central Arkansas. Remember the guy would be like, whatever, like, he's like, have you ever wanted to get over on a car dealer? Now is the time.
You ever want to watch two fat guys hang ghosts in the wood?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was funny. That was a good sales pitch.
It was. I wish I could upload it to YouTube. I really do.
Well, you can. I have to show you.
I don't know how. Yeah.
Out there in West Virginia, do you guys have any, I guess you'd call it famous haunted locations or claim to be haunted locations? Like here in Arkansas, we've got the Crescent. I think maybe everybody knows about the Crescent.
We got the Crescent, the Allen House.
And that's kind of it.
Well,
a couple in Little Rock.
Over in Virginia, we have St. Albans Sanitarium. Major Graham's Mansion
Hospital.
Yeah, it was started out as a school for boys. Then they turned it into a mental hospital, and a lot of stuff happened there.
Ghosts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you know that Waverly Hills actually started off as a school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just recently found that out.
Really?
That's where it got the name Waverly. It was first named Waverly Hill, and then whenever the land was bought out and turned into a TB hospital, it was renamed Waverly Hills.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. Those two would be both starting off as a school.
Which at some point we need to go.
Yeah. You're probably closer to Waverly Hills than we are.
Yes.
we're 500 miles away. But so have you been to this TB hospital?
I am actually planning on going there. We had went a while back, and I didn't get to go fully through it. I went with my uncle's group. It's just a lot of people through there, and you don't really get the whole haunted luxury of going through it with a whole bunch of people there. But I'm actually planning on trying to get like a private tour of it, so I can get enough people together. So if y'all want to come up to Virginia, by all means.
We'll be lucky to make it to Kentucky.
Yeah. But one great thing about
West Virginia is beautiful.
One great thing about having Mike Speed on our show tonight.
What's that?
There's another Appalachian talking on here besides me.
I mean, is he? I mean, it's like literally you're a doppelganger. Now all you need is a bald fat guy over the camera, and you.
Well, I'm getting there. So.
He's got to find his bald fat guy.
Yeah.
Maybe get Jason from Taps to come along.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know, man. He'd probably he would run the show.
Oh yeah,
he would run the show.
I don't know.
I mean, it's Taps.
No, I would have to take it over. Yeah.
But I have actually had people tell me that either I look like him or he looks like me or whatever. I sort of take it as a compliment. 'Cause have you seen him lately? He's lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
No, I ain't seen him lately.
I wonder if that's the kind of looking like him they're talking about.
No. It's like saying I've lost weight. Nope.
So you were saying that this TB hospital, I mean, do you know a little bit about the history of it, or have you done any research into it?
Yeah, it's pretty much, it was built to be a boys' school. Then they wound up turning it into a mental asylum, and there was a nurse there that was raping the patients.
Oh.
Yeah, and he wound up hanging himself in a boiler room, so that's where he hangs out. And they will not let women go into the boiler room by themselves. There has to be a man there with them.
No, wait, that was something else.
Well, that would definitely be worth checking out.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could poke a spirit or two there.
I mean, you've got a school. Starts off as a school, and then it was a mental asylum.
Yeah. So not only creepy kid ghosts, but you also have like creepy insane ghosts.
Yeah, pretty much. Best of both worlds.
The infectious ghosts.
Yeah. And then you have Bob.
Yeah, Bob would have to.
Your Bob is like my Jeff.
You have one too.
Yes, believe it or not. I have a guy, a spirit. My fiance does this with me. So whenever she's out doing a spirit box session, and she could be off somewhere by herself doing a spirit box session, and as soon as I walk up to her, my Jeff will start talking. Then as soon as I walk away, he'll go away.
Now, see, I have this strange feeling. You ever heard of that thing? I think it was like I don't know if it's time travel, where whenever you see yourself, so like in a different time or different universe, and it collapses everything, that would probably happen if we went to West Virginia.
Probably.
Because it's like we're talking to ourselves here. He even has his own spirit following him around.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like Mo Sarge's Tom, except Mo Sarge's Tom, you never hear him in an EMF. Or an EVP, my bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear anything in the EMF.
No, you wouldn't hear nothing. See, it has not been my day-to-day. I'm telling you, man. Like, got smashed in the face with a metal object. Done hurt my hand.
You didn't lose a finger?
No, I didn't lose a finger. It's not as bad as that day that you had on a rig that day.
Yeah. So, tell us about Jeff, because I mean, I think everyone by now has heard about Bob. We've got to hear about your Jeff.
Yep.
Well, I was doing a spirit box session over with the place I grew up. I went over there, and my kids were outside playing, which, I mean, it's my parents' house. And I went outside, and they was outside playing, and they had a bottle get thrown across the yard. And nobody was there with them. They had a chair outside. It got pushed over. So it just kind of piqued my interest. So I took my spirit box outside and started recording. And I got a guy, well, spirits say his name was Jeff Shepard, which I did a little investigation on it. Did some research on it. Couldn't find out Jeff Shepard that passed away. I'm still working on that, but comes to find out after like a couple of sessions, like within the couple weeks, he had died in a boating accident. And this property is like within 60 yards of a lake. So I'm assuming he may have like died on a boating accident on that lake. Or
the only difference is Bob was killed during a massacre, which was a very bloody massacre.
Yeah, it was in 1919 in Elaine, Arkansas, is where we determined that we picked him up at.
Well, then he answered us at Jessica's house.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we determined it.
Yeah.
Was it dowel rods or dowsing rod?
One or the other.
I can't ever remember. I always get those two mixed up. Yeah, he was killed in a I would assume probably either at that church that was next to it where it actually started, or during that whole killing spree that took place then. But yeah, you know, he's for dying so horribly, he's got a really good. He's got like a veteran sense of humor.
He does. He really, really does. Like,
he's got a veteran.
He's very vulgar. There's a lot of times where we've had to edit out some things in video because Bob has come through very, very strong. And we can't post that on YouTube because we would, never be able to get monetized ever.
No, we would probably get our accounts banned.
Yeah.
For some of the things that he says. I don't know. I've seen some pretty raunchy things on YouTube.
But we
definitely couldn't have him on the show. No. Definitely couldn't have him on the show, even though that would be awesome.
I'm actually glad that he does not come through our mic.
You know, I never thought about that. I wonder if that's even possible.
I don't know.
I've never heard anything abnormal except for, just your breathing.
The thing is, when I'm editing, I can still hear him through the microphone, the headphone microphone set that I use editing. I hear him talking through the microphone to me at that point in time. Because I've muted the video. I've muted what I was editing at that point in time and listened, and he was still talking.
So I guess maybe spirits can communicate basically live through an electronic device. I'm assuming. I've always felt like even the good spirits can attach themselves to you. Now, you use an actual spirit box, or is it an app?
I use both, actually.
So you've got the annoying.
I
use
the app and the actual spirit box.
We use the app, which is a lot quieter, and it's a little clearer. But I just can't stand the constant thing from the actual spirit box.
The app has a constant noise too.
Yeah, but it's not that loud.
I've never actually heard an actual spirit box. I don't really know how loud they are.
I have. They're extremely loud. It's kind of obnoxious.
Maybe we should get one.
No.
Ain't that expensive?
We've got to upgrade.
No, they're not.
They're pretty cheap. Well, I might get one, and Rob might just have to deal with it.
You know what? I came up with a great idea though for one of our next videos. What? Is those electro lamps, like the plasma lamps? Mm-hmm. We need to get one of those and go to like one of these super haunted locations.
Make my hair stand up.
No, but
see if it responds by itself. That would be creepy.
Yes. See if we can see a hand appear in the thing on the side of the glass.
That would be amazing if it would. Has anyone ever done it?
Not that I know of.
We should try it.
This actually sounds like a pretty good idea.
I know. And it's it puts off.
Now we've got to race Mike because he's going to do it. He's going to try to do it.
Think about it. It puts off a strong electromagnetic pulse, right?
Oh. I haven't seen one since I was a kid.
I used to have one. They were cool.
I used to have one too, but I was a kid. That's been many moons ago.
They still make them.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
They still make black lights. Just one of those things that probably 90 years from now, you're still going to see black lights and those little lamp thingies.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. You probably get one, pick it up from Spencer's.
That's exactly where you can get it.
Exactly. Oh. So, how long, I don't even know if we've asked, how long have you been doing these investigations?
Well, it's probably been about 3-4 years. I think I started it was about 3 or 4 years ago. We actually started when my fiance's dad passed away. And because our house, right after he passed away, and he was a really religious man. And as soon as he passed away that night, we had something come in our home that like stayed here for, I want to say about 2-3 months. And I literally got choked, beat up, everything.
That sucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing like that has happened to me, at least.
I was sitting on my bed one night and was talking to my fiance, and I felt a hand, like literally a hand, go around my neck and start squeezing, and I passed out.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a bad time. I'm punching air.
Yeah, I tried it. I wasn't connecting with anything.
That kind of sucks.
It's kind of hard to punch a ghost, I would assume.
If you could, I would have that night.
Hey, I would have still tried.
It'd be kind of like on that haunted house movie, the parody where they punched one. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they could probably punch a whole lot harder than we can.
Maybe.
From some of the things that I've seen as far as in the movies. That's all I've seen. And I haven't had the pleasure of, I don't know, maybe I'm, how would you put it? Spirit blind.
Well,
I can't see them.
Now, if it was the ghost of Napoleon Dynamite, he wouldn't be able to punch very hard.
No.
Oh, the stuff I come up with, right?
Oh, yeah, the things that you come up with.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you may come across one that literally couldn't hurt a fly.
He'd be like, vote for Pedro.
Oh, man. So you guys, you go to people's like residence and set up your investigations.
Yeah, we had a friend of mine about 3-4 months ago. His daughter got to play in that Charlie game, and it summoned something into their house, and she was talking about suicide and everything after that. And so we went in and we had a priest go like right after our investigation to bless the house because there was definitely something there. And come to find out that the whole wood side behind their house, it was nothing but haunted woods from like the Civil War.
Oh man, that's my thing. I love the Civil War. We got a few places here, but nowhere near like the one in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is super haunted. Like everything is haunted.
I mean, I can only assume that the videos that I've seen are not fake. They don't look fake. I'm sure by now someone would call it out as a fake, but you can literally, even in the daytime, see these spirits just walking around. Like, hey, we're still here.
I could probably go eat a Philly cheesesteak from Philly, and it'd be haunted.
That's a really old city. It really is. It's a very old city.
It's like Coal Mountain. I can go up there at any point in time. Like I was saying earlier, I can go up there at any point in time, and you could see something. I mean, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. If it's haunted, it's haunted.
You're listening to HRJ Paranormal Adventures on WCJV Radio, Youngstown, New York. I was reading a few years ago about Savannah, Georgia. That it is supposed to be the most haunted city in the United States.
Doesn't surprise me.
No.
It got burnt down a couple of times, didn't it?
I don't know. I've never really read that much into it. Have you heard anything about Savannah, Georgia?
Me personally, no.
No. I was pretty close to that area. It may be a good spot to go check out. But if we do go to West Virginia, we've got to come see your asylum. Your asylum, sanatorium, little boys hospital. I mean, not hospital, school.
Yeah.
Because, man, that is like the trifecta. That is the trifecta.
Oh, yeah.
We may go into an abandoned mine. I would love to go into an abandoned mine.
I can take you to one right now.
I don't know so much about being underground. I kind of have a phobia of that. I've seen the movie Daylight. And they were underwater and it didn't quite work out. But old mines, they're probably unstable.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to be a permanent. I don't want to be one of the spirits that other people are going to come try to contact 100 years down the road.
Instead of Big John, it'd be Big Mark.
Yeah. So whenever you decide to go to this, to this asylum, we are definitely going to be waiting to see that video. I think it's going to be amazing because the trifecta of what from what my understanding, what actually causes hot spots. That sounds like it'd probably be a hot spot.
It's one of the most haunted places in Virginia.
Yeah, that'd be like going to this island off the coast of Venice that I read about recently. I can't even begin to pronounce the name.
I've actually seen something about that on History Channel.
But it is just reading the history on it is it's crazy. It is crazy. Starts with a P. Like I said, I can't.
Talking about Pompeii?
No, it's not Pompeii.
No,
that would be pretty cool too.
That would be cool.
But I'd have to pull it back up because I'd have to show you how the wording on. I can't. I don't know how to pronounce it. I was actually going to try to find a pronunciation on it. I want to say it's like right off the coast of Venice. I want to say there's a lighthouse out there, but it has a really dark history. I'm gonna look that up and actually post that on our Facebook page for some folks to read about.
Yeah.
And maybe
cool.
if we, if we get rich in the future, maybe we can pick up Mike Speed and go over there.
Maybe
go to Venice. That'd be awesome.
I am down. Let's go.
I don't know about the 22-hour flight.
I don't know if they could handle two hillbillies and a redneck over there. I don't know.
Well, he may get his bald fat guy, so that could be another redneck.
Oh Lord,
I might be my bald fat guy here before long.
You might be your own bald fat guy. Oh man, you're just trying to do it all. You got to leave room for more bald fat guys, man. You got to
do it all.
Yeah, you got to do it all. Everybody needs a bald fat guy. Yeah.
Well, like I said, if you listen to that live stream last night, that was hilarious, and I did it on helium. It's like, if you want to see two fat guys going through the woods hunting ghosts, subscribe now.
Now, what's really going to be funny is whenever everyone gets to see this bald fat guy run because something actually showed up.
Now, hopefully you throw the camera in the air so I can catch it and keep filming.
I'm not throwing that. That's an expensive camera. I'm taking it with me.
You say that now. Wait till it happens.
But yeah, I really don't know what I'm going to do. Man, it's probably going to be the most comical incident you could. It's probably going to get us some views. I mean, we're going to have to post that, especially if we don't get killed.
Yeah,
that would suck. I've been watching some found footage videos. I don't want someone to find my camera 20 years from now, and because we've been missing since we went to some place and forgot to tell everybody where we went.
It's like, oops, we forgot. That happened the first time we went to the Witch's Holler.
Yes, the first time we went to a place here in Arkansas called the Witch's Hollow, which is it was a cabin. Now it's just really rubble, but it was supposed to be where a witch lived and practiced her magic. And the legend says murdered her husband and then sacrificed herself to the devil. So knowing this, we go to the location. with every intention to message my wife and Rob's wife where we're at. No cell service.
None.
And we weren't even supposed to be there. We were supposed to be like 30 miles away.
Yeah. So if anybody had come to look for us, they'd be looking at just a complete.
Well, the thing, where we were supposed to be at, they would have never found the location because it was no longer there.
It was no longer there, yeah. And then they'd be like, well, we don't know where they're at. And I'm like, well, no, neither does anybody else.
That would just be one of those vanish without a trace. We'd end up on the TV show.
Yeah. Oh, and get on our last video. You know, our revisit of the Witch's Holler, that was probably the scarier one. It really was.
That was pretty intense.
It really was.
It's not so much. I mean, you get a lot on the. I'm just going to call it a spirit box. I don't really know what it's an app. You get a lot on that that just it really creep you out, especially if you're the one there while it's happening. And Paul actually posted a video here.
Yeah.
But it's more of the feeling you get because when you first get there. Nothing. It's just like any other place.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, it's like the woods close in on you.
It's like being in a twilight zone.
Exactly. I mean, you start hearing things in the woods, seeing things that just like vanish really quick out of the corner of your eyes.
And if any of you have a social anxiety disorder, which I do, it feels like you're in a crowd of like 30 people. It really does. And you're out in the woods with nobody around.
And like nobody really goes down there.
No. People around that area are afraid to go there.
Yeah. And I mean, that should tell you that when the locals won't go there, it's probably best not to go, but that's where you want to go.
That's when you trip the person with you and just keep running.
Yeah. See, that would be me. I would trip Rob.
And then you'd end up falling back anyway, so.
I'd probably trip over something. I've got horrible balance. I would trip over something and fall. It wouldn't be as bad as
trip over air.
Trip over air. Yeah, that's pretty much me. I've got big feet, so I'll trip over my own feet all the time. I'm surprised I'm actually still alive.
Oh, hell, I'm 5'5", a 12-inch double E foot.
You're just like a dwarf.
I am. Like Gimli.
You're misshapen, and I mean. You're like something that you would go to a freak show and see at the freak show. I'm just playing.
I know you are. But, oh yeah, back to the video. We got a little off subject. But
we always get off subject.
We do. We always get off subject. But that's how we do. Anyway, going back to the video. Like, the EVP that we got during that video was like twice what we got the first time we went. Easily twice. Yeah. Like, it was easily twice the EVP we got the first time.
Did you go back and count the words?
No. Okay, but we also had Bob there.
Strange.
Yeah, we also had Bob there to slightly lighten the creepy mood.
I don't know. I don't even think Bob would have lightened that.
I mean,
not for me.
Now, I did ask him if he was as strong as the other ghosts, and he was like, maybe.
So he wasn't sure.
Yeah, he wasn't sure. And like I said, and when we did the editing on the video, like those eyes you first see, on that first little slow-mo, break back in the video, if we'd have seen that, Mike would have been gone.
Most definitely.
Like, the eye placement was so far apart.
It would have been like that dog off of Sandlot. Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah,
the huge dog and the kids.
But just judging by the video, that thing would have had to have been larger than a grizzly bear.
See, now you're making me nervous because we might actually have those here.
It would have been. It would have been larger than a grizzly bear.
I'm sure I would have heard a grizzly bear, though.
We would have heard a bear.
I would have hoped so.
Yeah. But and then, of course, we also got what looked like somebody peering from around the rocks at us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it was more of it came in. Well, not really even come into view because it just like appears. It materializes. That's the right word. It materializes, and then it's gone. And I didn't catch it. Of course, I was actually having to go through and listen to all those words, so I wasn't even looking at the screen. But it definitely looked humanoid. Kind of resembled what we saw in the first video.
It did.
You know, like moving through the trees, which I'm glad I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
It's creepy woods. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a witch.
Maybe it was one of the many victims.
Yeah, because, I mean, the legend says there's supposed to be like a bunch of screams you hear out there, which we heard screams.
Yeah, we did actually that night.
And chains rattling. So, I mean, I could assume there was some pretty dark things that happened there, and it probably involved more than one victim, I guess.
If you remember, right before we left, we asked, you know what it wanted, or I think we asked that.
Yeah, and it said it wanted us.
Yeah,
that's when we left.
That was the EVP. The exact words: "It wants us."
Yeah, and I'm not trying to. No, You want me? You want to catch me.
Yeah, and about that time, actually, the wind that was coming through had stopped completely. There was,
I never actually noticed.
There was no wind whatsoever, and that was a strong wind out there when we first got there. But when we were around the last part of the EVP, the wind had completely died. It was gone.
I hadn't noticed. I was too busy watching my back.
Yeah, you had your head on a swivel.
Yeah, as you can see.
You do that a lot when you're out there by yourself.
Yeah. Hey, stay alert, stay alive, right?
Yep.
I don't want some creature or whatever. I mean, I don't know how bad West Virginia is in the woods, but in Arkansas, everything will kill you. I mean, we're just talking about the natural living creatures in the woods here.
I just got to worry about Bubba with his gun.
Yeah. And we got to worry about that too. You never know when you're going to walk. I guess we got moonshiners here. I don't know. I would assume. But, that's not to mention you're at a site where a person supposedly sacrificed themselves to the devil. That's got to have some
negative,
strong negative influences. Yeah. We're not prepared for a demon. That
Not really. I mean, I did make that big steel crucifix, but that's.
I don't have a lot of experiences with demons, but I don't think that's going to help.
Well, here's the cool thing about being able to do this with my fiance. She can pick up on them just by feelings.
Well,
she can go and, like last night, we went to Coal Mountain, where she has anxiety. They kind of try to work on your weakest part of you, which would be her anxiety. So whenever her chest starts cramping up, there's normally something bad there. So, I mean, she can pick up on those quickly. But as soon as we left, her chest stopped hurting at all, altogether.
That would bother me, because then I'd be like, well, is this thing going to cause me to have a heart attack?
Well, see, I can do that, but I don't have any pain when I sense a spirit, or when I see one, for that matter, because I've been able to see them my whole damn life.
I wouldn't know it if one caused me pain because I'm in pain all the time.
Oh yeah, I've got a disc gone in my lower back. It's just gone. Doesn't exist anymore.
Product of being in the military.
Yeah, then old injuries. Because I used to be a rambunctious teenager.
Now you're I don't know if you're rambunctious anymore.
No, I'm not rambunctious.
Definitely still run headfirst into things.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the only way to do it.
You would do it's kind of bad because see, I'm the camera. I have to follow him everywhere. But there are places that I just refuse to go.
And I'm like, dude, we gotta go. I was like, I'm going. Yeah, it's like I'm going, and he's like,
take the camera because I'm not going. I'm the guy who everyone tries to scare. I'm the guy. I'm that dude who's just like, if the wind blows this wrong, I'm gone. I'm a really scary dude, and it's kind of funny because I'm still a skeptic because I haven't seen anything for sure, certain, unexplainable with my own eyes. But I'm afraid of it because I believe in the possibility. That's kind of a weird combination. Is that, I say, well, I don't believe in spirits, but then again, if you say, hey, there's a spirit behind you, I'm going to be like, where? Last thing you want to say to me, or just like you see in the movie, just look behind me.
Dude, in our next video, which is still in the editing process.
It's still in it. It's due out this weekend.
All right. I will let y'all know one part of the video, which scared everybody in there.
It almost made me pee myself.
It did.
I had to check myself.
All right, so we're in this abandoned church out in a holler right beside the witch's holler.
Abandoned Masonic hall as well.
Oh yes. At one point when it was still functioning, it was also a Masonic hall upstairs above the church.
Methodist church downstairs. It's interesting.
It is, but Mike had gone to check out something he heard in the window.
Moving piece of glass.
Yeah. And I was like 5 foot away from this piano that was, you could still make sound on it, but it doesn't really work.
I mean, you couldn't play like Beethoven or Mozart.
No. But you can do like do, re, mi. Yeah. But right about the time Mike went to look at that piece of glass that we didn't know what it was at the time, the piano just went, boom.
Yeah, like somebody just slapped their fist down on it.
Yeah.
And this piano, actually somewhat, as far as the legend that I had read, which, I mean, I guess you can kind of take it maybe with a grain of salt. I don't know, because, I mean, it's on the internet. But this piano was actually tied into the Witch's Hollow, which was probably, 4 miles away?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really looked at it, probably 4 miles away.
Less than that if you just walked over to the holler.
Mm. And the legend was that if you play the piano, that the witch will attach herself to you or present herself, whatever.
Yeah.
And, of course, what's the first thing that Bob does? Actually, even better, it was kind of funny because, see, my wife was with us, and it was like a race.
It was.
As soon as you walk in the door, it was a race. Who's going to play the piano first? I'm back here like, no.
He's like, no, it's a pothole.
I'm not even touching the piano. Of course, they go over there and start playing it.
Yeah.
And the EMF, actually, it really didn't even start going off until we get upstairs to the Masonic Hall. And right there in the doorway, when you walk in, the EMF is just like going off. It's going crazy. And we got to thinking about it and got to looking, and it was literally right above the piano.
It was.
And then we go back downstairs to check it out, and of course something distracts me. A little piece of glass moving by the wind. I wanted to go see, is it just the wind or is something actually going on? As soon as I get over there, this thing just lets out a loud noise, and I almost dropped the camera and peed myself.
Yeah. Like, you should have seen how fast he moved. It was
very, very proficient movement there.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to make a tactical retreat.
And, what's really funny, though, is when we were at the holler, just like, before we just went 4 miles away, is Mike was stepping down. And you can see this in the video. Mike was stepping down into the root cellar.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was trying to, I had my back exposed, and I wanted to get closer to you guys so I'd feel more comfortable.
Yeah. And he kind of tripped. And in that moment on the EVP, it said, don't fall.
Don't allow me clear as day. It says, don't fall.
It was clear.
Like, it was more of like it wasn't just like, don't fall. It was more of like a concern, don't fall. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And
then,
at
of
least
course,
somebody there maybe it was Bob.
It was probably Bob.
Nah, it would have probably been more vulgar, but I'm gonna think it was Bob because he watches over us.
Yeah. And you know what was awesome too is when we first got there, and it was a couple of minutes into the EVP session, and we asked if they knew our names, and they rattled our names off just like that. All three of us, like just like that.
It kind of creeps me out whenever something knows my name and I don't even know where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could feel you there because, man, I'm telling you, we've been to a few places, and that place makes me more uncomfortable than anywhere else. Now, Waverly Hills would probably make me like super uncomfortable because I've been reading on the history of that place. Yeah. I mean, it's got a history. It's got a really crazy history. Probably not as much as a place that was once a mental asylum, because I can only imagine, especially if it was before the tuberculosis, because the tuberculosis, like the hospitals, really started springing up in the early 1900s. Could you imagine a mental hospital in the early 1900s or before the 1900s? The kind of things that they would do there?
You know what's even worse is the doctors that actually ran those places.
Yeah, they drill holes in your head because they think it lets the demons out.
They did. I mean, if you look into some of the images of the practices of that time in a mental asylum, it's like, what were they thinking? Were they trying to just do evil things to people?
Well, it was probably kind of like even what they were doing with TB. They were just experimenting. They didn't know what they were doing. They had no clue. Like with TB.
They thought if you could set them outside, it would help them get better.
No, it was even worse than that. They would literally put balloons in your lungs and fill them with air. Or remove ribs and muscles so your lungs could expand.
Yeah.
I mean, it was some gruesome things that they did to TB patients. And even before that, I've seen some articles on things that happened with mental patients back in, late 1800s, early 1900s.
It's just gruesome.
Shock therapy, and they actually used that not too long ago, maybe 30 years ago, if not even earlier than that.
Well, if you remember the 90s version of the Beverly Hillbillies, they did it to Granny.
She probably needed it though.
Yeah, she probably did.
But shock therapy is
love
horrible. They actually shock your brain until it quits. Yeah. And then it reboots. I actually got the pleasure of talking to someone who had been through shock therapy. And she was describing to me that when you wake up from shock therapy, you literally know nothing. You know nothing. You don't know who you are, where you are, what you are.
It's a reprogramming.
And then it all slams back in all at once. That'd be scary.
It would.
And especially, if you continue to go through that, and I'm sure a lot of patients end up dying because of the procedures that was done on them. I would haunt that place too.
Oh yeah, I'd be mad. I'd be like, I was just fine, damn it.
So definitely, when we get done with Waverly Hills, we're probably going to have to come out to West Virginia.
Oh yeah.
And if you haven't gone out there by then, we should get together and have a haunted hospital party.
Well,
that works for me.
In the YouTube world, we call that a collaboration.
Oh, collaboration. There you go. That's one of those professional terms.
Yeah. Or as some of the other YouTubers call it, just a collab.
That's
yeah.
Now, at this place, like Waverly Hills, you got to pay like $75, I think, probably per person to go out there for 6 hours.
It's well worth it.
Investigation. Is there like do they market this place in West Virginia?
Yeah, the name of this place in West Virginia that I'm wanting to go is called Trans-Allegheny Insane Asylum, and I think it's for $150 per person.
I was literally just reading about that. Now it makes sense. Yeah, that would definitely. If you when you go out there, I'm watching your video. I'm not gonna watch it tonight by myself, but I'm gonna watch your video.
They have a little girl named Lily on the second floor that will play ball with you and likes for you to take her snacks.
I think Waverly Hills. I don't know.
If Waverly Hills
floor,
actually
they have a little boy.
Yeah, that does almost the same thing minus the snacks.
Well, in the TB hospitals, they had children there as well, like infected children. Well, see, they had infected children, and then they had healthy children. And at Waverly Hills, they actually had the healthy children playing with the sick children.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're just going to set you up.
And then they would sit them outside on the balcony, even in like December, which in Kentucky and the hills is really, really cold.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had TB, I could only imagine how hard it would be to breathe.
Especially cold air.
Yeah.
Cold air, even on healthy lungs, does not feel good sometimes.
And you've seen how tall that place is, right?
It's like 5 stories.
Yeah. Could you imagine how hard the wind is blowing up there?
In Kentucky, pretty.
Yeah.
And it sits on a hill.
Yeah.
So it's even higher elevation.
Yeah, so they're getting super, super cold air. And they've got TB, plus the wind chill factor.
At least give them a kite or something. Let them have some kind of fun up there.
Right.
And in all actuality, it did nothing.
No.
Except for, there was even photos of those patients sitting out there on those balconies or whatever, covered in snow.
I would haunt that place.
I would too. I'd be pretty mad.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to stay out here.
I heard
me a shot of whiskey or something.
I heard they're trying to turn that place into a hotel.
That's the plan. I don't know how far in the future, but they're actually getting the permits together for that.
The activity that's going to just arise when they start tearing that place apart.
Well, my thing, why ruin a perfectly good place?
Yeah.
That building is perfectly creepy the way it is. It's better, in my opinion. If you take it and turn it into a hotel, like a luxury hotel or whatever, luxury haunted, it's not going to look the same. It's not going to have the same vibes.
And then, of course, you can't sneak in if you're really adventurous.
I don't know if you can really sneak in anyway. They market this place. They charge people, which, everybody's got to make $1. It's America. Everybody has to make $1. But to me, it kind of takes away. You've been to abandoned places before, and you've been to, I'm sure you've been to other places. But to me, in an actual abandoned location, seems to have, for me, it has a different atmosphere.
Well, then you get a rush.
Yeah, you get a rush because you're not probably even supposed to be there.
But it gives you such an adrenaline rush.
Everything gives me. If we even get close to a haunted location, I already got an adrenaline.
Yeah, but exploring a place that is just dark and mysterious that you've never been. It
has a special feel to it.
It does.
And only folks like us would understand.
Yeah, I'm actually getting excited right now just talking about it.
I wish we had more places to go. But Arkansas is just not. Either they're not listed, or we can't find them, or it just says it's out in the middle of somewhere.
Or they charge an arm and a leg.
Or they charge an arm. Like we've got, we're going to the Allen House next month on the 24th, and it's going to cost us $350 just to get in.
Yeah. And I hope
there's a way to find places. I've actually recently discovered this. If I go on Facebook, I can look for these groups that is abandoned in Virginia or abandoned in West Virginia, and people actually take and post photos of the places.
Yeah, we have a site like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we also might happen to find Tate
Levi. I'm gonna pronounce his name right this time. Tate Levi. He's a up and coming author here in Arkansas. He's actually doing research on all the hauntings, and just by hearing him talk, we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. Just by hearing him talk, I know there's more locations out there, but it seems like I can't get him to open his mouth about it.
I know.
We've got to wait on his book that I think is due out in April.
It's like, Tate, just let us know, man.
We've got a couple, 3 more months. Hopefully he'll have it done, like and then maybe we can go about our explorations again. And definitely, if you decide to go to this hospital in West Virginia, let us know about it, because we want, as long as I'm sure Rob's cool with it, because you're an awesome dude, we want to get you back here on the show to talk about it.
Absolutely.
if you're willing to do that, we want to get you back. So that because it's one thing to watch a video, but it's another when you can actually explain more in depth of what's going on.
Right.
Because if you're in the video and talking about all your feelings, I mean, I don't know how well it's going to work.
No. I mean,
people might get bored and not want to watch it.
I mean, we do pretty good video. I mean, we've evolved our videos so much.
Since we went from playing with a stuffed animal to going to a really, really haunted Witch's Hollow, and now we're getting invites to go to places and
like other paranormal groups have contacted us to come, with them,
even out of state.
Yeah,
we've been invited to Gettysburg, but that's 1,000 miles,
and we just don't have the currency for that yet.
Probably cheaper to fly.
And I'm not flying because I go nowhere without the 45.
Wow. I don't know if you'd need it. Well, you know what you'd need in Gettysburg.
I
don't know. In there, it's a pretty vast looking area, but man, that hour has gone by already. I hate to cut you short, man. We're gonna have to wrap it up this week, but we want to definitely keep a spot open for you, man. If you get something cool, on your adventures, let us know, and we'll get you back on the show and talk about it. That way, we're not just sounding like crazy people and talking about ourselves all the time.
Yeah,
I don't want to sit here alone with Rob. I have to be alone with him enough. We gotta have somebody, like yourself, especially somebody cool. Like, I mean, you're just like us, but you're all the way out there in West Virginia, and it's probably a cooler place than Arkansas. Don't ever come to Arkansas. There's just nothing there.
That's about the way it is up here.
At least it's pretty up there. We got farmland. That's it. You got hills and pretty stuff.
Yeah, we got hills.
We would love to thank all of our listeners. We thank you, Mike Speed, for joining us this evening.
It's been awesome.
And
all YouTuber and paranormal investigator.
And we thank all of you that have been commenting on the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of you. And even Paul, who just, he's invited us to go up there to Waverly Hills.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yes.
He lives 20 miles or 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes away.
So
he'll be waiting on us for a while.
Yeah.
It's like 8 hours to get over there.
We thank you all for joining us, and I reckon we're going to sign out.
We'll see you, we will talk to you all same time, same place next week on HRJ Paranormal Adventures. Y'all have a great night.